What is up, guys? Welcome to the premiere episode, the premiere season, the overall debut of Friday the 14th podcast UHD. Are you nervous, or is it just me here?
I am not nervous. I'm excited.
Oh,
Super,
damn,
super
you're
excited.
coming in pumped up.
Yeah,
You're ready for this.
I'm excited.
This show is built in like with I would say about a month,
Yeah,
right?
almost 2 or 3. Yeah, about 3, 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, but uh, it's
So in a
exciting, man.
so in a sense, this was kind of rushed. So I don't know. I feel like we'll have to this show essentially built itself as the way we go. But as of right now, it's what we're gonna start with. I took some of the stuff from our main show, inserted it onto this show. It's a little bit similarities, but we are gonna do some different stuff that you're not seeing on the main show. We're gonna do performances. We're gonna do dances. Not bit. But I am the bad guy, Nick H. The H silence, just in case you didn't know that by now.
And I am Juan, the one and only, I guess. And man, Nick, I'm just super, super excited, man. Not only just to talk more horror movies with you, but to see what kind of gems that we can find that's undiscovered, and maybe a lot of people may not know about some of these movies. So I'm super excited to bring these movies to some people's attention.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So, anyways, the I was already gonna lose my train of thought for a second. So this whole show, if you're wondering what the hell is it? I mean, we're gonna talk more horror movies, obviously, but UHD Underrated Horror Discoveries is the full name of the show. Yeah, we'll be diving more into the underrated films, but also mixed in with the cheesy films that no one wants to, you know it's torture. No one really wants to dive into those type of movies. We're gonna do it for you, so you don't have to watch it. um do you want to kind of tell us what movies that got into the genre of horror? What made you
uh,
love the genre?
yeah, man, horror movies to me have always just been, that forbidden, uh, pretty much that forbidden movie. Starting off at a young age. You're not supposed to watch stuff like that at a young age, but it definitely made you feel a certain way, like you're doing something you're not supposed to. But nowadays, everybody likes to be scared. So it doesn't really matter what kind of movie it is, as long as it's got some gore and a good soundtrack. I think horror movies just do it for me. And some of the movies that I can name off right off the top of my head: Friday the 13th, Halloween, The Exorcist. So those are some movies that hit me in the feels.
Nice, nice.
What about you?
For me, the movies growing up, I mean, for sure, Halloween was definitely one of those big movies for me. I've overall, like, at an early age, I think I was into a lot of Stephen King movies, um, some supernatural stuff. The one that's supernatural, more like J horror. That's the right term for those movies, like The Grudge or like even Ring. I really enjoy like most of that type of movies, or like even zombie movies like Dawn of the Dead.
I gotta ask, because I think we're gonna touch on a lot of these movies with this new series. Are you into some really like grotesque, gross shit? Like, can you sit through some of that stuff, or do you have a certain kind of, like, I kind of don't want to go down that road?
Do you mean as far as like some like really graphic stuff,
Yeah, yeah, like some,
like Hostel?
like Green Inferno, Hostel, Human Centipede. Like, are you good with some of that stuff?
So some of the stuff I've actually haven't dived into many of those type of movies, but I definitely seen the Human Centipede, which I would always joke around with the guys. We need to review the trilogy, but no one's like, nah, we'll just if you want to review it by yourself, man.
Well,
But
you know what? I think it's underrated, and I think this might be the place we do it on.
I always knew it was one of those red box movies, or like it is one of those things like, what the hell's the Human Centipede? It has a cool ass poster, but I remember seeing it. It was just like, man, just weird stuff.
Yeah. The only
Uh,
movie that I've ever gotten nauseous from while eating, and I watch anything while I eat, but the Green Inferno. So that might be a movie that we might have to talk
Green
about one
Inferno.
day because it made me nauseous.
When did that movie come out? Actually, I mean, I remember hearing about it, but I just never seen it.
You haven't gotten to seen it?
No,
Uh,
it's by Eli Roth, right?
yeah, it's an Eli Roth movie. Um, the Green Inferno is 2013.
That's like around the time I actually graduated.
Yeah,
Showing my age there.
2013.
I'm
But
trying to
man,
think what else.
what do we? I mean, I know it's down at the bottom for everybody to watch, but what are we getting into today, Nick? What was your first pick for this very first episode?
So I feel like I had to pick a movie that was underrated. I mean, initially with the show, I was hyping it up to be like, we're gonna go right into the cheesy ones, but then I was like, nah, I'll save that for another time. Let's go for something at least entertaining to start off with. I came across this, like, because Tubi is gonna be the home of most of our movie reviews. I assume that's where we're gonna be digging up these gems. So I saw this movie, titled Followed, and this movie apparently came out 2018-ish, but I didn't get it like a theater release until like 2020. That's why I have it under 2020. I think that's when I started getting recognition and all that. But so I looked at the trailer and looking into it, I was like, oh, this is YouTube stuff. Like this is like vlogger, like, and I'm a top kind of a fan of the found footage films. Like I don't know if Blair Witch is like high up there, but I that was one of those movies back in my childhood. I was like, oh, this is one of the first type of those movies. Um, Paranormal Activity was one of those cool movies. I enjoyed the first one, maybe the first one, three, part five was pretty cool. But yeah, it was another type of found footage type movie, but it was more like modernized, like, and it like this guy's a vlogger, and then some of the stuff they cover. Okay, I might be going to spoiler territory, so I'm just gonna start going further into the movie. But yeah, I saw that on Tubi. I was like, oh, I will choose this movie. See what Juan
Nice,
thinks.
nice. Um, yeah, I think this is going to be a fun episode and a fun way to start it off. So
Okay, that was kind of a little bit of an introduction. Let's see. Do you want to get right into the synopsis,
the snaps,
the snaps? I don't know if that should be transition to the show. I feel like the show needs to have its own identity. So can we
the
call it the synopsis?
there we go, the synopsis.
The synopsis number. So the synopsis, I don't know if you know this is the actual legit one. I'm pulling up on IMDb. It's saying to gain more subscribers, a controversial social media influencer stays at a cursed hotel to terrifying results.
Hmm.
Was that the actual one, or is that just something I just read randomly?
No, yeah, that's how IMDb has it up, and
Okay.
you
They
know,
did they do a good job on that?
oh yeah, we'll do anything to get being a podcaster, we'll do anything to gain followers. So if we have to go through a haunted hotel one day, Nick,
Oh
let's
boy.
let's do it.
Gotta do it for the views. Uh okay, what else we want to get into? So I guess their rating is 5.1 out of 10
Yeah, yeah.
star rating.
They have a 5.1 out of 10. This is really high on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if you saw that, but it's 74% on Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty high.
Okay, so the director of the film is An
And Tony?
Antony Le. It's Ellie. So is that Le? That's not Lee, two E's.
No. And we'll like you said, we'll pull up the cast and the crew for everybody to kind of hang out and see what they like or what they see.
Who are pulling out first? Matthew Solomon.
Yeah, so there, yeah, Matthew Solomon as Mike, John Savage as Wallace, Tim Dyer as Christopher, and then you have Sam Valentine as Danny.
Mm.
You all right over there, Nick? You sweating or
That's when
was it Sam?
Sam.
Sam.
Mouth was drooling a little bit.
Um, and then Caitlin Grace plays Nick, who
She
is
plays me?
I don't think her H is silent though.
No.
Um,
Kelsey Griswold.
but you have
Okay.
Sarah Chang plays Megan, which is the technically the. I know we're getting into some spoiler territory, but she's the possessed ghost.
That's a big spoiler.
That is.
And Megan Kim, her H is silent too, right?
Yeah. Megan, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do
Who
you
else
have
we
a
got?
favorite? Do you have a favorite like cast member while we're looking at some
Of
of these
this
titles?
movie,
Yeah,
favorite
this movie.
cast. Ooh.
Since we have their beautiful faces popped up, I
Beautiful.
mean,
I feel like this is like a Tinder profile thing. Like I'll swipe right on the profile picture. Who do you want to take out? I'll definitely take out Matthew Solomon. I mean, as far as acting, who did I enjoy the most? Who did I? I mean, Mike. He played real douchey. I
yeah,
feel like he gave that overall acting.
he was a little douchey.
He hogged the spotlight because he's the vlogger of the movie. Um, I like kind of like this friend too.
Christopher.
Yeah. Even the girl,
Yeah,
Danny.
Danny was pretty. I think out of some of the acting chops, Danny was definitely one of the more believable like go getters in this movie. Um, I really did enjoy some of her acting skills. John Savage, who I didn't know was in this, he wasn't too bad, but he wasn't in the movie a lot.
Is it because he was too savage?
Probably he
No.
was savage. Um, I mean that's who I would probably if I had to choose anybody as far as a favorite character or actress, it'd probably be Sam as Danny.
Yeah. Or I mean, without going to spoilers, Megan with the H silent. For what she did, that was pretty good too.
Yeah, so it was definitely a fun cast. Another person we didn't really bring up, she wasn't in it that much, was the wife of Mike
Oh, the
is
wife.
Jess, right? Jess is played by Kelsey Griswold.
Not to discredit her or anything, but I don't know. She was just there to be there.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those movies where it's pretty simple. It gives you your four base main characters, and
The
you got to
Fantastic
go
Four.
in. Yeah. The only ones I really counted were Mike, Christopher, Danny, and then Nick. For some reason, I didn't really count Wallace all that much, just because he was kind of just like in and out really quick.
Hmm.
So yeah,
And yeah. Um, this will be since like also just to go over like the show itself. Um, this is like a live exclusive. I don't know, promoted a bunch of times on Friday the 14th, but yeah, live exclusives meaning this will not be audio, unfortunately, or maybe sometime in the future, but this is exclusively visually. So everything we're doing, like screen shares and whatnot, this will be a different vibe. So now you get to see their faces, what we're looking at. If one pulls up something inappropriate, I had no control over that.
you guys can send hate mail my way. I'll answer it for sure.
But it was a nice thing to see, giving people what they, I mean, for viewers, I mean, just give them extra stuff. Do you want to get right into the ratings?
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right.
And
Who wants to go first?
your movie, your pick, man. I'll let you go first.
Of course. You're
I'll,
gonna let
I'll
me.
go. I'll go first next time.
Oh man, if I had to choose a rating for this movie, I feel like maybe this is my generous rating because I like to pull out bullshit ratings too. The generous rating, like really is this guy gonna ever rate it on the real, or is gonna generous? So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, and that is actually a plastic knife. Even though I joked around saying butter knives, I think I want to walk around with the plastic knife. I think it's just more sillier and funnier that way. I think one was mentioning it a lot, so I was like, oh, plastic knife works since that is the dullest of the knives. Like, who are you really gonna cut open with that? If you're wondering if that's blood or not, that's ketchup. Actually,
Little ketchup and cheese sandwich.
that's what that is. But 3 out of 5, not bad, right? It's an average movie.
Yeah.
What would you give this movie, Juan?
Man, a three out of five I can deal with, but I think I was gonna go a little bit lower, but I'm gonna try to meet you right in the middle and go to 2.5.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you went with my realistic rating though. See,
I
I
got
gave
it. Go ahead.
so no, the 3, like I said, would be the generous, meaning it got boosted up. Oh, there's that picture right there. I feel like I should have popped that up pretty soon, early on the show, but I think with every review we do, that's just something I'm gonna work on, like as far as the little pop up, the movie poster, and then of course you see our little logo above. Also, it's this whole thing is like a play on of a 4K UHD. If you're a film collector like Juan and I, then yeah,
It's
you
got
get
to
the
be,
reference.
yeah, it's got to be HD, UHD.
UHD.
Yeah, but I do. I'm going to explain my. I'm sure we'll explain our ratings here in a little bit, but yeah, Danny on the cover of the poster. I was pretty pleased and excited to see where her shot and where her face comes from in the movie, and she's pretty terrified on this poster, and yeah, it's pretty intense.
There's like a variance of this pose, like it's just flipped the other way. So I'm not really too sure what the hell the actual official pose or which one they're actually going with. Let me take away that.
There we go.
Get back on our faces. But yeah, that because there's that one that's looking that way, and then the other one's looking this way.
Yeah.
I don't know which one real one is. You decide.
Uh,
Do you have something you want to add on to that?
no, I think the poster is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool poster. Um, I'm actually kind of surprised that I gave this a little bit higher than Hellraiser from a few weeks ago, but
How
I
dare
just
you?
my my concept behind it was I literally went in with zero expectation. Like I was like, I saw the snaps and I saw the poster and I'm like, I don't think this is going to be, you know, I don't know how good or bad this is going to be, but I honestly ended up liking it. It's a generous 2.5, so it's not like I hated this movie.
Generous.
Yeah, it's a 2.5 that I would recommend this to somebody for sure. I'm
Yeah,
still getting used to the rating system, so I'm
the
like,
racism. I haven't
yeah,
come
it's
with an
like
actual rating
two,
to.
2.5. Hopefully, it's not too bad.
All right, we're gonna get right into the movie. How'd you want to get it started with?
Um, well, first you get introduced to Mike. Drop the mic and all of his really his YouTube channels, I guess, or not channels, but his different episodes. And I guess they go and visit like different places that might have been like horror, haunted, or you get introduced to them both right off the bat. So I think that's a fun way to start the movie, and it was a fun way to just like get the ground wet and get introduced to everybody. Um, you kind of see what he's really passionate about. He's passionate about his web his web series, and he's really passionate about just trying to get more followers. So right off the bat, you're really entertained, and you're kind of just like intrigued by his story, and it kind of just goes downhill. Not movie wise, but it goes downhill for him almost right off the bat. So
Yeah.
What about you? Did you you've seen this before? How many times have you seen this movie actually before we get into it?
Mm. So on the real though, I only saw it one time.
One time and then this time for the episode.
No, actually, I didn't. So I was planning on watching it again last night, but I was tired. I was too tired to. I was like, oh, I can't do it. I mean, I want to. That was the for sure thing. Like, come on, you got to get the movie to refresh your mind, man. Um, but I just too tired. And plus, the stream we're watching it on, no sponsor at all whatsoever. Tubi. um, you can get download that for free. But you'll get ads. So that's also a part of it that played into it. I don't know. I wasn't really patient enough to wait for the ads. Not super long.
Yeah, they weren't too long. I don't mind Tubi. That was honestly my first time watching anything on Tubi, and the clarity was great. You just had about four ads in the movie, which again they weren't too long. So
I think from time to time the thing it would glitch up. Like so there's sometimes where ads supposed to pop up, the ad wouldn't even play. It just like continue on the movie. It's like yes, got lucky. So I'm trying to go basically pure off memory of what I can remember. So I think you had to carry me of the whole stream.
well, just follow me.
I'll
Follow
follow
me.
your lead.
Yeah, followed me. No, um, I will say right off hands, I kind of did not care for Mike because of just how insensitive he kind of was with his so-called best friend. Especially, he was like, I don't feel like doing this haunted hotel thing because, the he just I can't remember if it was like due to religion or I know he was traumatized as a kid with the cat story, and he told him the cat story in the car, and Mike was just like, bro, get over it. You're gonna do this or not. And yeah, it was right. So right off the hand, I was like, you know what? I would not be upset if Mike gets it.
You
So
kill off the main character.
yeah, throughout the whole movie, I was just kind of, you know what? Let's let's kill him off. I'm
Let's do it.
excited. Let's do it.
Let's get his head in the toilet, drown it. the um
But what did you think? Like, did you did you have any kind of warm feelings for Mike, or were you kind of the same way?
warm feelings. I was obsessed. I was one of his subscribers. I mean, nah, that'd be hilarious. Like, because he's like based off of like the bigger YouTubers, like in real life, like Logan Paul or something like that. There's like controversial stuff. He is really a big of he's a dick. So it's kind of hard to become a fan of his, even though I'm the bad guy. Supposed to love bad things. um, yeah, I just didn't. He was there. He was just there to like, he's there. He's the main character. He not really much to do it. But if I had the option to kill him off, like you wanted, I would do so.
So their main like the main concept for this movie is Mike's trying to get into this haunted hotel and videotape some stuff to put it up on his web series so he can get like a $10,000 sponsorship, I think. So if he gets like a certain amount of subscribers, he gets like $10,000, and
Was it 50 or is
it
it
might
ten
have been
thousand?
50. It might have been 50.
It's like
50
10,000
seems
seems
yeah, 50
ten
seems
thousand
like
seems
a
pretty
lot
low.
though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
he was really depending on that money though, like because I don't know.
so I mean
I'll give the reason.
that is a lot of money, but I don't know. He still was kind of like trying to drag his friends into doing pretty much what they did not want to do. Um, and it kind of you get about probably what 30 minutes into the movie, and then you finally start seeing some horrific weird stuff happening in the hotel.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure how we're gonna uh you know build around this whole talking about the movie. I don't know we're gonna talk about like beginning to middle to end, or we're just gonna because on Friday the 14th, the main show, uh we do the least most favorites or least favorite stuff. So I'm kind of trying to see like the feel around it. I mean, whatever pops up, right? I mean, but yeah, initially that whole beginning part is just a build up. Um, you get to know a little bit about Mike, about his little vlogs. Um, like just he's mainly doing it for the money too. Like he wants that sponsorship. They go visit certain areas that are actually real life places. I forgot what that bridge is called because I know they go visit out there. That bridge area where apparently people go to jump off. It's
Oh yeah, yeah,
actually a suicide
yeah. The
bridge.
story, yeah, the story that he told during that. I think it was a bridge in California. Honestly, I think, and yeah, it was pretty. I wasn't expecting the story to be, and if it is based off of a real story, like he was like, oh yeah, this is where this lady threw the baby off the bridge, and then she jumped after, and the baby survived, but she didn't. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff they're putting in it was actually some real events. They kind of twisted it to where like they had their own spin on it.
Almost like some real film facts.
Film you jumping right into full
No,
facts.
no, no. But that is some of the fun stuff about it, though. Is like all the different facts that they bring into the movie. Um, I think it was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, it was definitely like different. I wasn't expecting them to, because some movies like bring in their own stuff, even though it might be based off of a real event. But no, they like brought in real ghost stories and real horror stories, and just kind of built their story and their film around it. And I thought it was like pretty cool.
Yeah, so the overall location where they're getting to is based off the Cecil Hotel. Um, that's famously known for like bunch of crazy shit going on in that hotel. The one that comes to mind is that video that's famously known on like you watch on YouTube is that girl that's on the elevator pressing buttons. That's one of and then I think there's other stuff there. I'm not really too familiar with the murders that happened.
You had said something too about there's a documentary about the Cecil Hotel on Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix.
I didn't know anything about the events until this movie, and I started looking into it a little bit more, and I was like, wow, that's it's pretty creepy, man. Would you ever go visit places like that?
um, for $50,000, not bad. Um, got to get that sponsorship. To be quite honest, I don't know. I mean, it'd just be weird. It's like, you know, as of right now, we're kind of just nothing's happened to my life where I actually seen any paranormal activity shit. So like if the cases of it happening because I go to a place that's just like, oh, why did you like bother doing that? I mean, I love spooky shit, but not when it's gonna happen to me. No, 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 not I will not. It's just the same thing with playing the Ouija board. That's just something you don't really wanna,
You don't want to mess with that, huh?
not necessarily.
Take the podcast on location.
The location. But yeah,
So
I don't know.
do you want to talk about some favorite scenes? Do you want to do that on this underrated show?
It was an underrated show.
UHD?
Yeah, we're gonna make a thing. This whole podcast is underrated. So the overall, I mean, there's a plenty of other horror podcasts, but this is the underrated. Claim
Yeah,
it right now. Underrated.
underrated.
Everything about this show is underrated. So favorite stuff as far as visually, it wasn't even that big of effects at all whatsoever. I just love I do like the scene where Mike's in the elevator when he's about to play the game. The I say game like it's all funny games like a children game, but he's pressing on the buttons. Like I forget what the pattern is, but apparently how the game goes is you're pressing the buttons, and then a woman, the ghost, what was it, Megan, or I don't know what the real person was. I think it was something else, but the character in this movie is Megan. You see your spirit in there. I don't think you're supposed to talk to her at all. I think you just because I think you're pressing all the buttons and then you land on the floor, one of the floors, and then she apparently she just walks in. So that's what's
Oh
going
yeah,
on in the scene. You're seeing her walk in. I was like, oh shit, that's just creepy. Like if I were to see that in person, clearly like she's not like lives in that just like flesh or whatever. It's like you could see like the spirit, like a spiritual type of thing. And I like how he's like trying to play it off like he's like, oh wow, it's like what's going on here? Like, but he's like legit creeped out because he's
yeah,
he's a person that doesn't believe in that stuff.
and he yeah that's another thing. Like he didn't believe any of this until pretty much that scene. You know, he thought it was all just fun and games. The scene that kind of got me was when like it was really slow after he just got done playing the game, and was it the janitor walked by him really fast right when the doors opened? Is that who that was? Was the janitor?
Janitor.
I think.
I can't really pinpoint exactly every character. There's a lot of people walking around the hallways, so
But
you
like
kind of
I was kind of like confused. I was like, are those guys like, are they spirits too, or they just work there? But the only person that you see is Megan. So
like further on to the movie, it had me thinking things that way too. Like, are the people you seeing in the hallways, are they actually normal people or they're actually spirits? I mean, it's just real like you don't really know. Uh, I know like the little boy that's running around or throwing the ball. That's Ghost.
yeah,
Um,
that was a trippy scene too.
for sure. This is another one of my favorite scenes. Like whenever the hallway, like it looks all, I guess, red,
Hmm.
and you see the guy like his head goes backwards, and like kind of. I like how they're like just capturing the stuff. Even like throughout the whole movie, even they're catching all this shit. Like they're still in doubt if it's real or not. It's like maybe it was the pills I gave you all or whatever.
Yeah, the scene with the old ladies too in room. What was it? Was it 440?
Let's go with that.
The the room with the old ladies to where later on, like one of them jumped out the window. Like
Yeah.
that was a really trippy scene because he's asking the security guard, like, no, the little boy went in there, and she opens the door, and then they're like, no, nothing's in here, and then you think everything's gonna be okay, and then the lady behind her like just screams, shut the door, and I'm like, jeez,
Saboteur.
yeah,
He's like it was like Tom McGuire when he's like, "You'll get your rent when you fix the damn door." That or it was something like that. But
the security guy too made me kind of think like, is he a ghost? Is he real? Like at some point during this movie, I was kind of doing like you were doing, like trying to guesstimate if who's real and who's not.
he kind of came off like that. But I mean, he seems to know like he was a fan of the Mike's show. Like he's a viewer. So I don't
Oh
think a
yeah,
ghost would do that to going that. It's like imagine being a ghost and just being subscribed to people like, yeah, I still follow you even in the afterlife. Uh,
maybe he's a friendly ghost.
is Casper the Friendly Ghost? Nice reference. Um. Okay, I already lost my train of thought. What were we on again?
Oh, you were talking about some favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes. Okay, so yeah, after that head thing, I can't really think of any more like visual stuff that was like that popped out to me. And some weird sixth sense. I I kind of like, even though it's more like a douche move for Mike, but he's like, because his friends already like wants to bail out on him. And it's like, oh, he calls him pussy, whatever. He's like, no, come on, man. You know, do it for do it for the follower. I think he said something like that, but the way he baits him in is to like he gets the girl he has a crush on,
Oh yeah, that was a real douchey move.
and
Like
Danny.
yeah, well
He's like, and
yeah,
then he when he goes out to see her and talks to her, he's like, oh, come on, I'm gonna need a huge favor for this, and it's hilarious because he's just vlogging the whole thing instead of like just being real and talking. But of course, it's for the movie. You had to see what he's looking at, so the camera comes into play. But he talks her into doing it, and then the next time you see his friend come back, he's like, "Oh, I really need this. I really need the money." So that's why he says yes. But even though you know we know he has a thing for Danny, so that's the main reason why he's actually coming back into it.
yeah. That was kind of a low ball move, getting her to join. But I mean, he knew what he was doing. At this point, like you get Danny to sign up, hell, I'll go too. So
Yeah, I like how just like how sick he was. Like, "So I'm gonna get you somehow. I don't know how, but and yep.
um, I don't. Was it like a hacksaw or a chainsaw? But that scene where you just constantly hear the chainsaw going, and there's just like chaos in the hallway. Like that was a really fun scene too. Um, yeah. At some point, you're like, yeah. Um,
I think that the scene, not so much where they're in the diner or like that little area, but like leading up to it, because it's just like obviously this guy's not a ghost, but the guy in the hooded, he like follows them back up to the hotel. I
Oh, the
think
guy in the red mask.
I think that was a pretty can I call it intense? Not really. I mean, if it happened to real life, then like, oh shit, that's like real life like creepiness. But he was just following him all the way up to the hotel, and of course, seeing other people in there, is like, are they ghosts? I think they're real people.
Well, see, that's what was kind of weird about it for me was like it was an intense scene all the way up until uh, the friend was it Nick all
Uh,
all the way up until Christopher tackled him.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, he before like seeing him again, he did take off because he was all angry and pissed off.
Yeah, he had like the nosebleed and something had happened, so he took off. And you think he's done and he's out of the movie. But did it explain like the guy with the red mask that made that scene so intense? What Danny just saw him in the street and she was like, "Look, we got to go." So that's kind of a thing. Like she just saw a random dude in a red mask. Had she seen him? She didn't see him before that,
Okay, so
did she?
I mean, his face was hidden, so it's kind of like what's the guy following us? But they do initially see that guy. He was one of the guys that was doing like the drug deal or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay, that's right.
They see him and they're like, oh shit, like let's just walk away from that. And he's like, but I think he wanted payback, even though like they literally didn't do anything. They just saw him like, I guess just even being filmed, people get pissed off, you know.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, it's very interesting that they even bring him back into the movie. It's like,
yeah.
and then just like the whole scene with them, he finally gets upstairs, and then of course you said the friend comes back, and then he makes his at random ass appearance, like a tackle, but I'll say spear. He speared him,
Out of
kind of,
nowhere.
out of nowhere. Um, yeah, I was like, oh man, this guy's having his hero moment.
Um, what do you think about the scenes with is her name Nikki or they just call her Nick in the movie the video editor? Like every single time he goes in there and checks on her, like she gets worse and worse and worse.
Very, very, very sus.
Yeah, and at one point, I honestly thought he was going to open up the door and she was going to be like on the roof, like fucking Spider Man, and then she'd just like come down and like start eating his shit or something. I was like,
Eating the
yeah,
shit. What the?
well, not his shit, but like eating his like. I thought she'd like come down and like eat his throat out or something like that. But I didn't know how possessed she might have been. So
I thought she was a little interesting that even though she really didn't do much, like she didn't like say anything, but just like them checking up on her, like she wouldn't say anything. She was like watching like some footage that's replaying over and over again or something like that.
yeah,
Say, hey, you doing good? You doing good or not? And then her like nosebleed. I think she was having nosebleeds. Um,
yeah. Nick's the one who has the nosebleed. My bad. I said Chris had it, but Chris did have that scene with the cat. It wasn't his nose that bled, but he thought he
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that cat in the bathroom and it scraped his face.
I wanted to see a cat. I mean, no, not like that mattered or anything. But I didn't know where I was trying to lead up with that whole Nick thing. I just know that I was gonna throw in the just make a stupid comment about saying it'd be awesome to actually get an editor, have someone do our work for us. Because right now, dare I say his name, Franco, he does the most of the editing for the videos he puts out. But I mean, it'd be cool to have someone just like legit have stuff. um, let's see.
Yeah,
Anything else I
because
want to add about Nick myself?
Nick. No, Nick was I think she was a very underused character. I'm not gonna say she was a throwaway character because she was pretty important towards the end. Um, she almost committed suicide. That last time he walks in on her, she was about to jump out the window, and he saved her. He was like, "No, no, no! I need you to edit. I need you to edit. Don't jump."
Is that what he said?
No,
That's
it's
what
not
you
what he
that
said. But
that's what I think we're thinking it though. Like, come on.
That's the underrated commentary that's involved.
The underrated. I see we had some comments here. I was like seeing stuff. I like had to see stuff that Nick was going through on her own. Yeah, that would be an interesting. Like maybe that could have been like on the bonus features on the DVD.
Yeah.
I say DVD because there's no Blu-ray out there, but I think it's what a UK release. I think
UK only DVD.
so that makes it more difficult to complete my collection.
Yeah. That is an interesting comment. Thank you for sending in that comment. That'd be pretty cool to see what kind of like is he asking what kind of personal stuff she was going through?
Well, I feel like he's referring to more like what's going on because most of the time you're spending a lot of time away from her character. You're seeing Mike and everyone else, and I think it would be more interesting to see from her point of view, like, oh, why is she going crazy? Like, what's making her drive? Like it would have been interesting to see a shot of her, like, and then just hear like a bunch of whispering, like voices all over the place, or just like random shit thrown out. I don't know. I feel like maybe random shit thrown out is just too. It's already been done, so yeah, just the whispers would do.
He put Nick in her own room. I noticed. I wonder how come that the other girl that the two guys didn't bunk together and the two girls didn't bunk together. It didn't explain that, did it, or was it just
Or
because Nick needed alone time so she can edit?
I I would assume she's like one of those type of people, and he's full on focus. She doesn't want to be distracted because I mean, Mike himself is this guy's just all over the place. He probably talks a whole lot. It's like, oh, hey, can you shut the fuck up? I'm not trying to work here. But and I see the other friend, his friend, and I'm pretty sure he like, oh, we can bunk together. The bros they're gonna bunk together. To me, it's a little weird, but and then what's her name? Danny. She had her
Yeah,
own bed.
yeah, she had her own bed. There was no way somebody was going to sleep with her.
But yeah, that comes into play. Like, how come Danny couldn't just like bunk with Nick at all? But I guess she just need that a low total alone space. Maybe she's like an introvert.
But he let it. I think he did let it out of the bag that the room that Nick was in was haunted, right?
Yeah, he does make mention like, oh, hey, look, the room we're staying in is this so-called place that someone was murdered in.
Yeah, and I think
A-
she was the one that was like, oh no, I don't care.
And they're like, if I was being told that, I was like, oh, and that's what made me feel any like good about that. Like, it's like I'd probably not be able to sleep. I'd be like, we'll wake up all night.
Like one, you can't get room service, and number two, oh yeah, by the way, the room's haunted. So have a good night.
Did they at least get continental breakfast when they were there?
I no,
No,
they got like
that was
probably
loud.
cereal and bananas.
Cereal bananas. It's
Yeah,
lousy breakfast. They got
yeah,
like Fruit Loops, the forbidden fruit.
yeah. If you want a hot breakfast, go put the muffin in the microwave. I did like how they actually used, that he did try to contact the hotel to see if they can publicly do the episodes there. So I do like how they did bring that, because some movies could have just left that out, like we're going to sneak into this hotel, but they actually took the time to say, no, I tried to get in. They said no, but now we're going to sneak our shit in. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the part where they try to get that their drone. They have the drone, and they try to go through the gate area, the locked gate area, and there's flying a thing, and you see a bunch of mannequins all over the place, naked mannequins, mind you. But it gets stuck up in there, and then I think a lot of the movie they're trying to get access to it. I think he even tries to talk to the security.
Oh yeah, to get the key down to the basement. He gets the key, but he gets the key like way later on in the movie, like in the movie, it's like days after he asked for it.
So pretty much after he's already the last one standing, so he's there. I think his plan on like this last because he's like there's a one area we need to check out, and that's that area that the drone got stuck in. Uh, that was supposed to be like done on Halloween night, I believe.
Yeah, he wanted yeah, so it starts off like on the 28th or 29th, and then he technically goes down into the basement on the 1st of November. I think everybody leaves him on Halloween. They're like, nah, fuck this. We're heading out on Halloween night. So
So yeah, and then it goes on to the next day. Um, I think because when we're watching the whole movie, the whole thing, everything's like pre-recorded. I believe we're not watching like live feeds or just.
yeah, that's one of the things that was pretty cool. I think about it was somebody's sitting there going through a computer watching these videos, and
Right the head. That was the little
the
mascot.
mascot, yeah, their number one fan.
I would have no, I don't know. I was thinking like maybe you could like attach the camera to it and put it like on a skateboard. I don't some motorized thing and just drive it around. But that's probably too much work.
But yeah, somebody's like watching the videos. It didn't ever say who was really watching it, was it, or was it actually Mike watching his own videos?
So that gets revealed at the end. I mean, I don't know. We want to jump right to the end. um, let's see. Is there anything else you want to cover? Maybe least favorites.
Least favorites. Man, and some of the stuff that was really good was also like the opposite as far as like Mike. Like Mike's in a lot of good scenes because he is like the main character. But I noticed whenever the friend played by Tim Dyer, Christopher, when Christopher has like one-on-one dialogue with Mike, you can definitely tell like I'm like, oh, where did they pick this guy up at? Like is he a legit security guy too? Or um I didn't really have like a lot of complaints as far as like scene wise. The only complaints I have about this movie was just some of the acting chops and some of the dialogue from some of the main characters. But I thought the jump scares were pretty cool. Um, and that's why I wanted to like talk about my rating a little bit throughout the episode. Like, it's a 2.5, but I could definitely see myself giving this a 3 or recommending it to somebody because for this, being a low budget, underrated horror flick, it didn't feel that way sometimes because of just the way the music was. The music was really good. The jump scares were fun, and then I'm trying to think of the effects.
So
I
this
didn't,
movie could like be like a Netflix. I don't know. I was going with that like uh quality. I mean, even Netflix they don't really have a bunch of great movies, but I'm saying where would you see this actually be streamed on if any platforms would pick it up? So right now it's just on
um,
Tubi only.
if I could see anybody picking it up, honestly, I could see like it being on like Netflix or Shutter. I think Shutter would be a good one.
Sure, to be a good place too.
Because yeah, this is just like I said, I didn't find a lot wrong with it, honestly, other than just some of the acting skills, some of those heart to heart moments that uh, Christopher and Mike shared, like the car scene when Christopher was telling about the cat, or the little ghost scene. That was kind of rough. Um, the ending, honestly, when Mike was sitting there, um, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to post for a few days." That was you can really see that he was kind of just, yeah, like um, just as an actor, you can kind of tell he was just a little off. Um, and then the scene where he's talking to his wife and she's letting him know that he's about to be a father, and he really needs like when he's the heart to heart moments, letting the friends know that he needs this money and letting his wife know about why he's doing this. It was just kind of like, can we get on with the good stuff now? Because I don't want to see you guys have soft moments. I
So
want to
filler moments here.
yeah. So yeah, those would be my only negative scenes would be some of the filler moments.
So even with the like emotion, supposed to be emotional scene like that, like he's found out he's a father, but yet this guy still somehow he still comes out as a dick because he's like, oh, you getting this? You getting this? You're like, yeah, the camera set up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there. So sweet. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a father. He goes back to talking to his wife.
So yeah, those scenes were kind of rough for me to watch. What about you? Did you have any scenes
Least
that you
favorite.
did not care about?
Um, maybe it not fully towards the end, but a little bit before that when he's like his final little that he's gonna take a hiatus type of thing.
Yeah,
When just the way he gets he doesn't get killed off, but he gets killed off. So you think I just like that little area of the scenes. I don't really care for that much. Yeah, I mean, really, nothing really comes to mind really. As far as like, it's like, oh, this movie sucks. I mean, um,
no,
three.
I don't think it sucks.
No, I mean that's not what I was trying to go off of, like, but yeah, three. I mean, to me, it's a good watch. To me, I think the only thing I can like relate to, not really relate to, but I can understand Mike for wanting to get that sponsorship money. Like, there's that certain moments where you actually do feel for him because he's like, if I don't get this money, then my wife's gonna she's gonna leave me, even though she's one of those people like, oh, she doesn't care if she has to work. I mean, as the your significant other is gonna actually um they do what they can to help support. I mean, because I think Mike's just all around. He wants to be the guy, to be the guy, the man, the man
Yeah,
overall. He wants to be the one supporting, but I mean, he thinks it's just like, if I don't do this, then she's gonna leave me, like, for sure.
but I think yeah, that's a good explanation of of kind of good writing, but it also feels like a little bit of lazy writing, just because she should have been like, oh no, if they really wanted to make her the good guy, she could have been like,
The good guy.
no, no, I'll still continue to work. You keep doing your web vlog stuff, and just come back home. But it really feels like she was probably pressuring him to, if you don't get the sponsorship, put the video camera down and go get a job. That's probably what it kind of felt like. And he was like, no, I don't. I need the sponsorship. I don't want to go and do like a everyday job. I enjoy doing this stuff. So that's probably what it was. Like she was probably going to have him stop. The web vlogs are going to end. Um,
I can't do
yeah,
it. I mean,
he should have. He should have just RKO'd her out of nowhere. It's like, I'll do what I want. No.
after the RKO, it's followed by a punt.
Yeah. But
Bunch of wrestling references.
I think that would have uh, been a pretty good maybe scene, not to necessarily show her like as a bad guy, but just
I'm the bad guy.
yeah. But it would have been really cool to show her put a little bit more pressure on him because he was just putting the pressure on himself, and you're like,
Yeah,
bro, she's not telling you not to do anything. She's just
for
telling you to come
sure.
home. Yeah.
For sure, their love was all unconditional. It's not like for rich or for poor, man. Was it? Is that the same?
Yeah, like if you can't afford somebody to be your light guy, when she gets done doing her 14-hour job, she can come be your light guy on your video show. It takes a family to make these things, and she probably didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah,
Family.
family. Jurassic. Oh, I was say Jurassic. Jurassic Fast and Furious. Um, I
Well, that went way off the subject. My bad.
That's all right. I mean, that's what makes the show entertaining.
It's an underrated conversation.
It's underrated cars. You gotta please the all consumer. I mean, you gotta please every crowd. Um, I think I would say
The only thing we didn't
majority of
really,
people.
yeah, the only thing we didn't really cover was, did you like the ending as far as like him getting kind of his due, and then the two, Danny and Christopher, were kind of like, were they tied up together?
Christopher.
Yeah, the best friend and the girl he had a crush on, they were kind of like the way it ended for them was like, they're getting it.
I'm starting to blank on that area.
Because yeah, the ending is the thing that kind of makes me drop this just a little bit is the ending is really forgettable. Like there's a good lead up to what's going to happen, but just the ending just kind of fell flat for me.
Yeah. let's see, before it goes into editing, because there's mentions that the people that died, whatever, one of the killer, he killed his family, right?
Yeah.
So Mike, that they say like one of the sons that got to live on, like they just didn't reveal it. So like towards the end, and then of course Mike ends up being the surviving child. So that's kind of like, I don't know. I think he makes mentions of things like he's experienced stuff, but yeah. So they get to that reveal that he's one of the sons. Um, is that the same time when he finds that computer set up whenever he goes for the drone?
Yeah, he finds a little setup with the drone, and then kind of just he goes through and sees all the weird stuff that's down in the basement. Then it just kind of ends for him.
He's kind of just like screaming like, "Oh, hey, who's down here?" Whatever. And he tries to run out. I think that's where it cuts off, I believe.
And then you have like the little reveal of, was it the little boy with the skateboard
Skateboard.
after the little boy that is like he's doing his own little vlog too. Do you want to talk about the ending,
Oh
that
yeah, so
little
that the
little reveal?
the ending. The funny thing about I get so used to like when we get to the how we would have ended segments, and I explain the actual ending. Since we are already at the ending point, after Mike gets taken down, he it shows up the next morning or whatever day it actually is. The so the boy, this new vlogger, he's like, I'm not sure if he got this inspiration from Mike, um, but he's starting his own thing. Uh, I think he's vlogging in front of the Mike's house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a tape all around. He's like, "Oh, see, there's tape all over." And I think he's with his friend, right? He's I'm sort of blank out a little bit
No,
for
yeah,
the
he's
parts.
like with his friend, and he's like,
Follow
uh,
me.
follow me, bitches, or something like that.
Somebody, yeah, that's what you got. You got to insult the viewers.
So,
So
so with all that tape around the house, it didn't really explain anything. Do you think Mike was right? Didn't have like police tape around the house?
the police tape around the house. I think he got framed for murdering his wife, or I could be wrong on that.
I think he got possessed, and he went back there and
Yeah,
just like Amityville horrored that bitch.
yeah,
I mean,
for sure he got possessed. I'm just trying to remember who actually was involved with the murders, or if
I think
he or he killed himself off. I can't remember how it plays out.
it was all. I think it was, yeah, it was all three of them. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, then I was on track with that. I guess
yeah,
I
you're
just
on
like
track.
I didn't know who. So yeah, there's that. He cuts the tape. So he ends up going in there anyways, like, as you know, like, fuck the tape. I don't need taking all the way back. I have a YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want. That's pretty much what his whole thing was.
She's not lying.
It was the spirits. Yes. um, but how it wraps up, because after he's promoting his old shit, I think, where is he planning on going to next? I think that was his next video. I remember correctly. Him just going
Yeah,
inside the house, but he gets the comments on the thing, and it's from Mike himself. It's like, I haven't seen this guy in a while. Like, what this guy's just gonna is this really him commenting? Is I can't wait to meet you in person. I think that's what he says, or
yeah. I'll see you soon, or something like that.
I'll see you soon. I sure hope so.
Yeah,
It was like, so yeah, it's pretty much Mike. I guess he's possessed. Like, that's who's, and of course you find out. Yeah, it just goes back from the start. He's posting on the videos. He's showing all that.
yeah.
Um, it's one of those type of movies that's like, you expect an ending like that. It's not like the most creative ending, because I think there's movies I've seen before that do that route.
I mean, it leaves the door open in case there ever was going to be like a sequel or
Sequel.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I know this is kind of like already way beyond what the already at the ending, but I just remember that moments randomly popped in my head of that guy. I think he's on his phone and he's like, "Oh, is it like Mike? What or like what are you doing?" Or I don't know. Like he's like wondering where like Mike disappeared. Like it
Oh
just
yeah,
shows
yeah,
him. I think he's like doing like a live stream or something like that. Like he's
yeah,
on, I think Instagram Live or whatever, some generic stuff like that.
yeah. That was a random scene too. You're talking about, yeah, the guy was like,
That was
"Has
just like
anybody
one of
seen
those
Mike?"
scratching head moments. Like, oh, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they added a deleted scene in there.
They had to delete it. We forgot to delete that. What the hell we put that? Like, come on, this. But they're like, I really want that scene to be in the movie, but then no one's gonna buy a DVD copy of that. Literally,
Yeah.
they know I'm actually planning on buying the DVD eventually. Um,
UK only, so you're gonna pay like $34.99 for the DVD copy.
yeah, $100 going all in. It's like one of those. It's gonna be an eBay bid. So what are you doing, man? You could buy so much more movies, and you're it's for the collection. It's for the collection. Keep telling yourself that. But yeah, I think we covered just about every single main point. I mean, there's probably a lot of more stuff that's in the movie, but you can check up on other YouTubers that probably covered this movie also. They probably have different stuff thrown in there.
Yeah. It did make for a better watch. And I think that's the only reason I'll keep mine at a 2.5 is like it was a fun movie. The ending was just a little flat, but I don't know how the rewatchability to this would go. Like now that I know all the ins and outs and how some of the scare scenes happened or the jump scares, like I don't know if I would like I would definitely recommend it to somebody, but I don't know if I'd want to
As far as the
watch it again.
rewatch,
Yeah.
I know for sure Fuentes probably like, nah, I ain't gonna watch that shit again. um,
Again?
he doesn't like. I feel like in a lot of reviews he does. He's like, it's just a movie I don't see myself coming back to. It's gonna be one of those type of movies from. Let's see. Do you want to go into film facts, or was there any film facts, if any?
Yeah, there's for sure some film facts for this movie. Um, Not a lot, but there's a little, and we will get into some of the facts.
Show me,
Um,
show me the fun facts,
the fun
like
facts: the
like
haunted
car facts.
hotel. Well, you already mentioned this, but there's not a lot on the site. The haunted hotel in the movie is based off of a real hotel, Hotel Cecil in downtown Los Angeles. International serial killer Jack Underweger also lived at the Hotel Cecil in 1991.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Um, and then at an hour and 9 minutes into the movie, in the suicide crowd scene, not only is the man in the devil mask watching them, but there is an unexplained person in a skull mask looking down at the woman in dismay. Both costumes are obscenely excused by the date Halloween, but it's also a nice bit of symbolic foreshadowing. Hmm.
now see, I gotta rewatch it now. Damn it, missed some things in the movie.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's not a lot, but it's definitely some fun little trivia facts if you are interested in watching Followed again, or if you. Some people will watch reviews like this and then go watch the movie for the first time. So, for anybody out there watching who wants to go see it, yeah, those are some little facts that you might be able to check out in the movie.
You just gotta hit with the facts.
Yeah,
um,
slapped with the facts.
slap with the facts.
Those are some underrated facts.
Underrated facts. Uh, so the next segment, so to speak, would be sequel, comic, or novel continuation. Meaning, this movie doesn't have a sequel. But which routes would you go with? Would you like to see this movie get a sequel, a part two? Would you like to see this movie be written as a comic? Like I know certain films actually get comics. I think uh, Trick or Treat got a comic uh, adaptation. I think it's like continuation. That's what I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Or like
Nice.
they'll do some for like Friday the 13th, or I think there's like different stuff. Majority of the mainstream stuff, got comic stuff. Um, or would you like to see a book adaptation of it?
Um, I like comics, but as far as a sequel to this movie, I would probably be interested in an actual like movie sequel, just to pick up and see, would they go off of the same story, or would they pick off from a different YouTuber going to a different horror site, or would they still keep the hotel involved, or would it be a continuation of Mike? This kind of has a not kind of, it has a paranormal activity feel to it. So in those sequels, it kind of jumps into the same characters for their sequel. So, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing like a possessed YouTuber, Mike, going, doing some different stuff, or just something different. Go have somebody else come in and go through the hotel, or just a completely different adaptation. I don't know. What would you do? Would you follow the character, the hotel, or would you just completely do something different, or would you want to see a book or comic?
You know, I don't think a sequel will actually top the movie. You know, it'd be cool to see it since um I know I'd get through a film is much easier than actually um but I think I'm a lazy person when it comes to comics. I have to be in the mood to actually read through them. But I don't think this movie has that feel that like doesn't have like characters where you can transition to that. So if I'm gonna be completely honest, if I'm ever actually in the mood to actually read, I think I would go for a book adaptation. I feel like I'd be less with the you know the movie. I feel like I'd be disappointed, but the book, I think it wouldn't really disappoint me as much. I think it's more led to the imagination, like paint it in my head.
Agree. That's a good pick for you. Yeah, that's a good pick, because yeah, you can leave it to the imagination, and you could kind of just, it would feel like its own little horror novel.
Yeah, I think they would probably like. I feel like the writer would probably like throw in some more like real life events or something like
Yeah.
that. Just be like certain. I don't know. That's just me though. I think I choose the novel continuation
Sequels.
sequel. Yeah. That was like one of the segments. I was thinking like what would make the cut for the segments, and I think that'd be a cool little opener. Um, let's see what it goes on from here. I don't know if that's really entertaining to anyone. So the next segments is something is what you already done, kind of like on the main show. Uh, but it's gonna be pretty much our reveal of the next movie review. So next film trailer reaction.
Uh-oh.
Oh, something is the technical difficulties.
No, no technical difficulties. I'm just saying, like, are you ready?
Oh, okay. So you're trying to hype me up, huh?
I'm trying to hype you up, man. I'm trying to do the hype, and um
You wanted to tell me your like because you said you narrowed it down to three, and
I
uh
I
and I was
did.
like wait, no, don't tell me anything. I want to be surprised on the stream. So I'm pretty
I'm
oh man,
now
am I
I again I see my palms are sweating. I'm actually kind of nervous about this.
are your knees weak?
I did. Well, no, they're not neat. They're not weak. I
No,
didn't do
okay, no.
anything. Yeah, I didn't do anything
Mom
weird.
spaghetti.
No. So yeah, I mean, as far as underrated goes, it may be a little bit bigger of a budget than Followed, but to me, I really do feel like this movie is super super underrated, and I think it would be pretty fun to talk about it.
Alrighty. Is that full screen?
So
Oh.
this is the trailer.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, I
So
already know the movie.
it is a little graphic for those of you that are watching the trailer.
It's graphic. I told you, man. What are you doing, man? Pulling up inappropriate stuff. That, um,
You went for it. I mean, yeah, it's a little inappropriate, but I think this movie kind of gets some flack. A lot of people that I've talked to about it, they don't see it as a horror movie.
mainstream country.
They don't see it as a good movie at all.
So you're telling
And
me it's not a horror fan's dream come true?
yeah, I've read a lot of I've read a lot of reviews that a lot of the
Future
you
classic.
know a real future classic. I think this is a fun movie, and uh, I think it would be a little fun to talk about. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, I definitely look forward to reviewing this movie. I've seen it a couple of times, but I mean that's not gonna draw away from the show or like the episode. I mean,
what do you think? Would you call this underrated?
um, I mean, it did get a theater release. Because at the times when I think about that, I think that's like mainstream, but in a sense, not many people actually talk about it, or this movie is not in anyone's top list. Um, but I mean, it follows. I mean, it's pretty interesting choice that we went from a movie called Followed to going on to It Follows.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna.
I see what you did there.
I won't. There we go. Yeah,
So
I was gonna go through some of the other stuff, but I'm like, nah, that's got to be safe for the episode. We'll talk about that
I
come
gotta say,
episode time.
come on, man, you gotta bait them into it, like, uh,
Yeah,
so for the people like viewing this, like if you're like scratching, you're like, well, why the hell is there no audio? Um,
legal
so
reasons.
so here's the thing. This accidentally happened. I'm pretty sure there's a way you can tweak with the audio, but when we're trying to figure out how to screen share the trailers, there was no audio at all whatsoever. So like then the idea popped up like, oh, why not play off of that? Why not react to the trailer without any audio? Just so it's like left to the imagination, like, oh, the left going in more blind into it. Even though this movie's already seen it though, but it's still gonna be a play on to that though. It's like, especially like I think if you have like you're playing a trailer, you gotta talk over it. If you just have it sitting in there, the audio playing, I think they try to copy right strike you with that or something like that.
Yeah, and honestly, believe it or not, even though I've seen this movie like 2 or 3 times, that's the very first time that I've seen the trailer. So
That's a surprise for all of us, right?
yeah,
But I mean, it works out. I mean, especially like for commentary, like just reacting to the trailer, I think it works out. You're going in blind or death, should I say? It's a death trailer review. Oh,
going in
reaction.
blind.
I said review.
So yeah, I think It Follows is going to be a fun movie to rewatch, and it's going to be a fun conversation, and it'll be fun to get a lot of people's uh, thoughts.
It's a lot of fun term thrown on there.
Yeah,
I just say any conversation with you is it's fun.
it's underrated.
It's underrated fun.
What last thing for Followed, man? Is your rating going to stay the same at a 3, or do you want to go a little higher, or how do you feel?
Oh,
Staying at a
like I
3?
like I said, the generous rating is the three. Meaning, so like realistically, I would have gone with the 2.5. So three is actually, I'm sticking with three.
Same. I'll stick with a 2.5. I recommend this movie if you guys have not seen it. Like Nick said, it's on Tubi, um, but it's definitely underrated.
To be
I never would have seen it without your recommendation. I'm glad I watched it. I just don't know how the rewatchability would set with me. So 2.5.
2.5. Would you buy it on DVD?
You know me. I buy a lot of shit, but if it had some nice special features and if it got a cool little slipcase with it,
Slipcase.
I'll put it this way: if Scream Factory put it out on Blu-ray, yes, I would buy it.
Oh shit! Yeah, a
Yeah,
collector's edition.
yeah.
What if the bonus footage was actually of Nick and that guy that was doing the live stream? I don't
Uh,
know.
yeah, that'd be
Some I'm pretty sure there's some fun interviews. I don't know. Maybe not.
some
Um,
behind the screenshots of Danny screaming.
Danny screaming. The pictures of like how YouTubers like they try to show like their thumbnails.
Yeah,
they show their faces like it's just
Sign
the
me up
whole
for it.
it's just a whole video of them like choosing the right screenshot. So is it the poster, is it looking this way or is it looking this way?
Hmm.
Like that?
Yeah, I could definitely see that in the film library. That would be as I say, I always look at a film before I buy it, and I look at the spine of the movie, and I'm like, yeah, that's a sexy ass spine. I'd, I'd, I'd buy that spine. For those of you that don't know what I'm saying, I don't want people to think like I'm talking about an actual spine, like I'm like
A spine.
Jeffrey
You're
Dahmer
into
or
you're into
something.
spines? Is that your fetish?
No, I'm talking about like movie spines. So
There you go.
somebody's out there like, damn, this guy's talking about eating spines and shit.
You gotta clarify it for some
Yeah,
people. Not everyone.
cancel.
Yeah, you get canceled on the spot.
Uh,
So would you put that poster on your back display, like right next to I think you have very limited space there. I don't really know.
Yeah, yeah. That's a nice poster. I would hang Danny up on the wall.
I think it'll just be like because this is the premiere episode right here. This is the poster. Just
Yeah,
the image.
I gotta watch my comments, man. That sounded bad again. I would hang Danny up on the wall.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get an email like, yeah, we're gonna not allow you to come back again.
I'm sorry. You're no longer even so off.
We got some Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
This wasn't the vibes I signed up for. But I mean that was the end of the review. The review. It was a. Would you say it's a successful premiere episode?
A very underrated success.
Underrated. It was
It
underrated.
was literally, yeah. I would.
Expectations. It shouldn't be too high. It's underrated.
Hey,
Um,
I think you know what my goal for this podcast or this video stream is to let's see if we can make the show more entertaining than the movie sometimes.
that's what it's all about. You gotta
Yeah,
like people are gonna tune in like, oh, this movie was a shit, man. Why are you talking about like it's so highly like? No, it's just the way we're talking about it. We're just making it
yeah,
entertaining.
yeah. Our thoughts
Uh,
make the movie more entertaining.
Pretty much, yeah. Um, so before closing out the core, all that, here's kind of a question for you. I know
Oh,
you're used to like podcasting and what that's more of your like vibes, like your go-to. What's it like being a live streamer now? I think if I had you on for a
um,
few streams that you're been showing your face.
you know what? It's definitely different. Sometimes when I get lost up in just like talking to you guys, it still kind of feels the same, but it's definitely different, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it just as much. So this is like my fourth or fifth time with you guys, I think, and it's still talking about movies, but we're adding a little bit of a different take on it, and I'm excited, especially talking movies with you, the bad guy, and yeah,
Making stage slot.
silence.
All right,
So
we're closing out to where can they find this one? Where to find this?
you can find this on uh, Imalsawa Live YouTube's page. Um, also on the Friday the 14th YouTube page, right? Or
Uh,
or is it all under the productions now?
so this is actually just all Emo Swap Productions, the channel. So like I said, like this is live exclusive. So unfortunately, gonna be no audio. Um, so yeah, I mean you'll find us. Just search up the channel or search up Friday the 14th podcast UHD. I think that should send you straight to the video. Just how specific the wording is. There's like no other thing titled this. That's
It's true, and
uh
they can also follow us individually, and they can find it on your links, my links, anywhere we
y-
have links
link like Zelda link.
or hot links.
Hot links. I guess I'll go first. You can follow me at badguy2313 on Instagram. You can follow the rest of my stuff I do on here on this channel. I do Emo Swall Live. That's a show about me going one on one with content creators. Or my last stream was actually with the rapper. my co-host to be exact, on Friday the 14th, the main channel. They're transitioning over to Friday the 14th. Our next episode will be The Collector. That was in 2009, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe 2009. Um, The Collector.
And that episode I'll be doing with my co-host, Mr. Fuentes. And we'll be joined by Mr. One right here.
Yeah, if you guys allow me on, I'm excited to talk about The Collector.
Uh,
Actually went out and bought both of them. Whenever I found out you guys were talking about it, so it's a movie that I honestly have not seen since I saw it at the Dollar Movies in 2009. I went and saw this at the Dollar Movies. So it's almost a little over 10 years since I've seen this movie. Jeez.
I think I tried watching one time, but I don't know. I couldn't. Not because it was bad or anything, but I just there's moments where I just zone out a lot. I think I'm on my phone like, oh, I have to do this at another time. And I wasn't reviewing the movie, so it was not that big of a priority for me. I just remember Franco and Manny had reviewed the movie, and they were like recommending it. I was like, all right, I'll give it a watch, but I haven't yet revisited again. So looking forward to that.
And
Um,
if anybody wants to watch it before the episode, they can find it on Pluto TV and Tubi for free.
no
So
sponsorship,
yeah.
but you're gonna get the ads. What else is there? I think that's about it on my end, actually, to be honest. I was gonna say, I mean, I have three shows now. I mean, but we're already doing this premiere episode. You already know what the next episode is. It follows. So the floor is yours, Juan. Whatever you want to plug in.
If you guys want to follow me on some of my stuff, you can. You can find me at the Twitter at cinnamon405. That's CINEMEN 405. The Instagram, you guys can see all this physical media every day. The Instagram is just one word, Cinnamon Movie Podcast. And then the Facebook, if you guys haven't noticed already, I podcast as well, and it's facebook.com/ the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. So it's a fun show. We're just like you guys. We love talking about movies, and we're still trying to do some crossover stuff with you guys, audio wise only, and hopefully we do some crossover with videos too. So man, we love podcasting, and we're glad to do this partnership. It's gonna be fun. So
Yes.
physical media,
Well,
buy it.
buy it. Well, can't wait to talk to you in the next episode. Well, next two episodes. Before close, I mean, this show is a bi-weekly show, so it's gonna be um from the main show and then to this show. So like every Wednesday there'll be an episode of Friday the 14th.
Yeah, so like next Wednesday, the 26th, you guys will talk about The Collector,
Yeah, the main show.
and then February 2nd, we'll be talking about It Follows.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Right before Valentine's Day, we're talking about It Follows. That's nice.
I don't know. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Why did I say tuning in? Watching us. Remember, folks, always been a bad guy. Bam.